To say that AOC, and I'll use the full name, to say that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is disliked by her district is a bit of an understatement. There's been polls going on through the 14th district of New York where Ocasio-Cortez, that's the district she represents, and she's gotten a lot of bad press. The reason why is because Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, as a representative of that district, she's more focused on seeking national fame more than anything. For example, in California, we know certain individuals based on their name, but I'm pretty sure that they're not making national news like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and her squad. For example, for us, Loretta Sanchez, Lou Correa, those are individuals that are known throughout the state because those are names that we know and those are names that are politicians that are very notorious in our state. But if I went to Texas and say, "Do you know who is Loretta Sanchez?" They're probably gonna say no. And if I ask them, "Do you know who's Lou Correa?" They'll say no, probably because they're not making that much national news. And that's a problem because when you're representing a district in your state, you're not supposed to be seeking national news. You're not supposed to be seeking national recognition. The only exception that usually is the Speaker of the House and the Senate Majority Leader, because those are individuals who are in great positions of power besides the presidency. However, when you're representing your district and you're just a simple congressman or congresswoman or a senator, you don't like you're not really doing that much national, you're not doing anything national on the national level. Sure, you're going to a national, legislature, but you're not the one who is, trying to preach the news and try to become like nationwide known. Because it's not Texas who's going to elect AOC to Congress again in 2020. It is not California who's going to be voting for AOC in 2020. It's going to be her own district. And when people of her own district, people that she's worked with, have been dissatisfied with the way she actually runs, the way she actually tries to implement policies, it's pretty sad. I mean, if you go to Turning Point USA, which is another YouTube channel that I usually watch, there's two videos that shows how many of her constituents in her district, they're dissatisfied. And this one, obviously I'm not gonna play a video for copyright reasons, but go ahead and watch it. I'm gonna post the link on the description that way you guys can watch them. But in this one, the title reads: the people in AOC's district support socialism. Watch the video and you'll be surprised what they say. Because AOC, she promotes socialism. She says democratic socialism, but just because you put democratic in front of socialism doesn't make it any different. Okay? What if I say democratic communism? It's different because it's not communism, it's democratic communism. See what I mean? So that's one title. And they went to the AOC's district again later on throughout the year. And what happened was that they actually asked her, "Do you think she deserves a raise?" This was the one for supporting socialism on the 16th of this year. And the other one was on July 7th. Now, another reason why AOC is being a lot of national news is because she wants a raise for being in Congress. After she's only been there for 6 months, 7 months now, and yet she wants a pay raise. Really? It's like, come on. So they go into her district again because her district knows her. They know who she is. They don't like her at all. But they ask her, "Do you think AOC deserves a pay raise?" And they're gonna say nope. I'm gonna put this video in the description as well that you guys can watch it. Obviously, I'm not gonna play it for you guys because I do not want to be striked for copyright reasons. But the title for this article is from Fox News, and it reads: Ocasio-Cortez gets new 2020 challenger, a Republican immigrant from Jamaica. It's up from an hour ago. I'm going to read the article. I'm going to show you the candidates who are running for on the Republican side. I don't think any Democrats have announced to challenge her for the seat because, again, even Democrats probably don't even want to compete against her because, again, they're the same party. But she's also been really notorious for creating a lot of problems. But anyways, keep going. And I apologize if I'm mispronouncing the name. I think it's Sherry or Sherry. I'm gonna go with Sherry. I think Sherry Murray, a New York businesswoman who emigrated from Jamaica, has a child and is active in state Republican politics, is launching a campaign Wednesday for the congressional seat held by Democratic Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Fox News has learned. In a phone interview, Murray, 38, confirmed her intention to run for the New York congressional seat as a Republican. This is what she says. "There is a crisis in Queens, and it's called AOC," Murray told Fox News. "And instead of focusing on us, she's focusing on being famous, mainly rolling back progress and authoring the job-killing Green New Deal and killing the new Amazon New York deal." I'm gonna stop right here for a bit. if you're not aware what happened with Amazon and it came to New York, what happened was that Amazon was going to be supposedly be building one of its centers in New York in order to create new jobs. People wanted those jobs. Even Mayor De Blasio, he actually wanted Amazon to come to New York because they needed the jobs. AOC pushed for Amazon to leave. Amazon left. And a lot of the constituents in New York were not very happy. Why? Because we're talking about thousands of jobs that could have gone toward the state of New York's economy. So people were not happy about that. But let's keep going. Murray, who was born in Jamaica and moved to the United States when she was 9, is officially launching a campaign Wednesday with an introductory video that takes sharp jabs at the 29-year-old Ocasio-Cortez. Your representative in Washington chooses self-promotion over service, conflict over constituents, resistance over assistance, Murray said in the video. Queens and the Bronx need someone who will create jobs instead of turning them away. Boom. Right jab, left jab, going for the knockout. This right here explains Ocasio-Cortez's career in a span of the time she's been there. Why? She promotes herself every step of the way. Why? If you go to California and if you ask who's AOC, they'll probably tell you. Is that a good thing? I wouldn't say it's, again, good or bad is a matter of perspective. But people of California aren't going to vote for AOC because they can't. Because they can't. AOC is a representative of New York, not a representative of the country. So what does she do? Again, self-promotion. AOC has become a nationwide, whether good or bad name is up to you, but a lot of constituents are not happy with the fact that she's seeking national fame over actually helping her constituents. Conflict over constituents, another one. She prefers to create conflict, create problems, instead of actually serving the needs of her constituents. And what happened with the Green New Deal? She just wanted to, say that the world was gonna end in 12 years because of cow farts. And yes, it was actually in there. It wasn't a joke. That's what she says. That it was a misinterpretation, or is that someone wrote it in. But no, it actually said the world's gonna end because of cow farts. It was ridiculous. I was like, really? But again, she chooses conflict. She chooses to basically create barriers that prevent progress instead of serving her own constituents. Resistance over assistance. Again, we came to the border bill. She and her little squad resisted against passing a border bill that would provide funding towards the border patrol agencies at the southern border. She decided to resist, even though she's the one who complained that the conditions are horrible. Well, if you're saying no to money that will actually improve the conditions of the border, then you are the problem, don't you think? So again, this is straight up going for the knockout. Even with those little words, she's already pointing out the problems. And now the bigger one, I think the knockout is going to be this one. Someone who will create jobs instead of turning them away. AOC, her biggest blunder was telling Amazon, you are not allowed in New York. Even though even a Democrat like De Blasio, Mayor De Blasio, wanted that Amazon facility in New York. And he was not happy about that, but let's keep going. Asked about Ocasio-Cortez's brand of democratic socialism, Murray said, I think it's far, far to the left and is not connecting with everyday Americans. As for Medicare for All, which Ocasio-Cortez has embraced, the Republican said, Medicare for All. I think a lot of people are happy with the current health insurance and on the Green New Deal. The left-wing proposal to address climate change pushed by Ocasio-Cortez, she said, we know that it will certainly kill jobs. Murray joins 4 other Republicans who have filed to run for the seat. Former police officer John Cummings, medical journalist Ruth Papazian, I think I'm pronouncing it right, construction contractor Miguel Hernandez, and entrepreneur Antoine Tucker. No Democrats have yet announced a primary challenge to Ocasio-Cortez, though there's been speculation that establishment Democrats could rally behind a primary challenger. Ocasio-Cortez shocked the political world in 2018 by defeating longtime Representative Joe Crowley in a Democratic primary. Whichever Republican candidate emerges from the primary field will face a steep uphill climb in the overwhelmingly Democratic district, but Murray and others are looking to paint Ocasio-Cortez as more of a celebrity than a lawmaker, while stressing their ability to work across party lines. For me, I think that I'm gonna stop right here for a minute. When it comes to a politician, I don't care if they're Democrat or Republican, to be honest. But what is important to me is whether or not they're willing to reach across the party line, reach across to the other side, and say, I want to negotiate a solution for this problem. The thing is, like I said, we're not always going to get everything we want. The thing, whenever it comes to finding a problem to a solution, it's best to have other perspectives. That way, it benefits every single one. Example, let's say in Santa Ana, if I say, if, for example, if I say, for example, let's say the problem in Santa Ana, there's a lot of crime in the downtown area. My solution is give more funding to police departments and incentivize working for the police department, meaning, giving more better benefits, stuff like that. That's my solution. Someone comes along and says, well, I think the solution should be investing in lower income neighborhoods, but providing better resources such as better education, better, let's say, better standard of living conditions, meaning, rebuilding the roads, and also, to some degree, what is it like? I don't know. Pretty much that's pretty much a solution. So my solution is increasing the police department. The other part of the solution is investing in those neighborhoods, in those lower income neighborhoods, in order to avoid crime from starting in the first place. Now we're gonna disagree, but that's a good thing. Why? Because my perspective is completely different, and it would have probably affected them in a much more negative way. Probably, we don't know. But at the same time, I also, to some degree, I'm more of a cynical person in the sense that you can give a criminal a lot of money, you can give him a lot of free things in order to help him, but at the end of the day, it's their choice. You can hold the door open for them that says this is the way to a good life, but again, you can't force them to do it. So again, so a lot of things are going to be a huge. We're gonna end up disagreeing on a lot of things. But that's why I look for politicians. Politicians that are willing to go to the other side and say, I want to find a solution with you. Are you willing to find common ground? AOC is not that person who wants to find common ground. She's a person that's going to say it's my way or the highway. It's my way or you're racist when it comes to Nancy Pelosi. That's pretty much how it's always been with Ocasio-Cortez. She doesn't want to find any compromise. It's always going to be her way, not everyone's way, not finding of the common good or finding a common solution or compromise. No, for her it's my way or the highway. Going on with the article, Murray's new campaign video, which doesn't mention President Trump or the Republican Party, portrays Murray as a bridge builder. She's a former state committee woman of the New York State Republican Party. Asked during the interview if she considers herself a Trump supporter, she said yes. She said she's in the process of talking with national Republicans about her campaign, including South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, a prominent black Republican in Congress. She expressed disgust over the recent spat between Trump and Cortez and her allies. Trump has taken heat for telling Ocasio-Cortez and other minority progressives to go back to where they came from, provoking accusations from Democrats that Trump's comments are racist. I think it's disgusting, to be honest, Murray said for the controversy, without specifying which part of it disgusted her. I think we're missing the point of why we're elected to public office, to legislate on policy, to deliver results to those kitchen table issues that are affecting everyday Americans. Murray later clarified her thoughts on the back and forth saying of Trump's tweet. Is that how I would have worded it? No. Do I think the president is racist? No, she said. But I want to get back to the core of why we're even talking about this. There's a crisis at our border. Murray, who grew up in southeast Queens and worked for the city's Jamaica Bus Depot as a teenager, founded a television production and advertising company called I think it's called the SML or SML, the SML Group in 2004. She said her business generated employment for minorities in New York City. She said she no longer works for the company and is now a full-time mother. The GOP primary will take place in June 2020. Winning a general election in New York's 14th congressional district will be a long shot for any Republican. In 2018, Ocasio-Cortez GOP opponent Anthony Pappas won just 14% of the vote. But Murray still insists a Republican could win, even in a Democratic-controlled district because of the dissatisfaction with Ocasio-Cortez. A Republican can win the district, she said. There's an absolute path to victory when you look at a general election campaign. That's going to be in the article. Now, when it comes to Cortez, whether or not you want to like her or not, that's not the point. But when it comes to Cortez, she's a far leftist identitarian. The reason why is because, again, she plays the race card. She already played the race card with Pelosi. She's doing it again with Trump after the controversy of the tweets. Whether or not I think Trump did something stupid, I do think he did something stupid. He could have worded it differently. But at the end of the day, I always stand with this statement. If you are not satisfied with this country, you can leave. You can leave. If you don't like the USA, if you don't like living in this country, then you can leave. We're not forcing you to stay. And I know you think, well, Carlos, that's a really racist statement to say. No, it's not. If you do not like living in your house you're living in right now because, for example, the neighbors suck, the roof is leaking, and if I asked you, why don't you move? Why don't you move to a different house? And you say, well, how dare you tell me to move? then why are you complaining about it? If Ocasio-Cortez is always saying that the America sucks, the USA sucks, it's full of white supremacists, and all the KKK is the new MAGA hat hood or whatever, regardless of whatever else she says, it's clear she doesn't like it's clear she doesn't like this country. So why doesn't she leave? I mean, if she thinks that socialism is so good and we're not gonna embrace it, why doesn't she just go to Europe? Why doesn't she go to Venezuela if she thinks socialism is fantastic? Even Juan Guaido invited AOC, and I think Ilhan Omar too, to visit Venezuela to see this is what socialism brings you. And she said no. Even though she said socialism is a good thing. I know, right? But now, the reason why I bring up her political leanings when it comes to her far left identitarian policies and methods is because when a far leftist, they will always play the race card, they will always play the woman card. That's what they do. The thing is that with Joe Crowley, I think he was a white male, and I think that's why she was able to win. But if you look at the Republicans running against her, we're talking about Antoine Tucker, an African American man. He's an entrepreneur. We're talking about Ruth Papazian, another woman. We're talking about Miguel Hernandez, a Hispanic male. And then we're talking about Sherry Murray, a Jamaican person, a person of color, a black woman. So I don't know how AOC is gonna win this, but she can't use the racist card against Tucker because he is black, and again she fights against the oppression of the black community. That is, if she really believes what she's saying. Then we're talking about Ruth Papazian, a woman, so she can't say the sexism card because she is a woman. Miguel Hernandez, she can play the sexism card, but then she'll be insulting a person of the Hispanic community. And then we're talking about Cherie Murray, a black woman from Jamaica, an immigrant, to say the least, a legal immigrant, because again, she's running for Congress. So how is AOC going to win this? She's going to have to use facts and logic, but clearly that is not in her repertoire because she likes to use identity politics. She likes to play the sexist card or the race card, but guess what? Those cards are not going to work against Tucker. You can't use the racist card against Tucker. You can't use the sexist card against Papazian. You can't use the racist card against Hernandez, because if you use the sexism card anyway, if you use the sexist card against Hernandez, you're basically insulting the Hispanic community, so you can't use the sexism card. And then you're talking about Murray, who you can't use a sexism card or the race card because she's a black woman. So how is AOC going to do this? I'm not really sure. Her district is fed up. They do not like her. Again, look at these videos from Turning Point USA. Really good videos, and I know it's shocking that they don't like her. But that's how it's going to be. Will Cortez end up winning again in 2020? I'm not sure. But every time when you're running for Congress, the thing is that when you come for the House of Representatives, your terms are 2 years. They're 2 years. They're not 4 years. They're not 6 years. They're 2 years. So you constantly need to be pleasing your constituents, or guess what? They're gonna vote you out. Trust me. Short-term memory is a lot more common when it comes to long-term memory. People will remember what you did in the short term. For example, if my friend pissed me off a week ago, I'll probably remember why. AOC, she just got elected in 2018. In 2020, she's going to be up for re-election. And she's already making national news about very controversial stuff. Not to mention, she also compared the border facilities to concentration camps from the Holocaust, so that's not a very, very good thing you want to associate yourself with. I mean, not even a good thing. That's not a thing you want to associate yourself, period. So, what is AOC going to do? You're going to have to rely on facts, logic, and evidence. But clearly she doesn't use that because she likes to prefer the identity politics pathway, which involves the sexism card, the racist card, and guess what? The Republican opponents, you can't use them at all. You can't. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that Murray is going to be able to put up a good fight against Cortez? What do you think about these other Republicans who are running against Cortez in her district? Do you like the idea of Tucker? Because again, he's an entrepreneur. Ruth Papazian, I think that's how you pronounce it, and Miguel Hernandez. This guy's a construction, a construction contract negotiator, something like that. Let me see. Construction contractor. There we go. So, what do you think? Do you think these three have a chance, plus Murray, of course, to actually end up beating AOC out of her district? Do you think AOC is gonna have to rely on other things besides her racist card and her sexism card? Because again, these people are immune to those things. And do you think that the Democrats are going to want to go put someone against AOC? Because, again, AOC is not that popular with Democrats either. Nancy Pelosi doesn't like her. Let me know what you guys think. Share the video if you think that this video is worthy of sharing. Like the video as well. Subscribe if you haven't already. And once you subscribe, hit the notifications button as well. That way you never miss an upload, because YouTube likes to screw up their algorithm when it comes to opinions that they do not agree with. But that's gonna be the end of the video for today. Unfortunately, I can only do one today because I have to go to work early. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Watch the other videos. I'll put them in the description below. Trust me, they're very, very good videos. I do like those videos. But that's gonna be it for today. Have a good rest of the day. Until next time, you guys.